Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a decree on March the 31st asking unfriendly countries to pay for Russian gas in rubles or face supply disruptions. But Russian gas has continued to flow to Europe since April 1st, when the notification came into effect, as no new payments are due until the mid of April or early May. However, the threat of supply disruption still looms large over Europe, as most of the unfriendly countries have said no to Putin's demands. But why did Putin come out with such a measure? At best, this can be seen as a trump card used by Kremlin to counter financial sanctions from these unfriendly countries. Europe is extremely reliant on Russian gas, with nearly 40% of its gas requirements being met by Russia. Europe's largest economy, Germany, gets 55% of its gas supplies from Russia. For countries like Hungary and Austria, the share is even higher. Although Europe has said it will reduce its reliance on Russian gas and switch to other energy sources or renewables, it is something that cannot be done overnight. The United States is planning to ship an additional 15 billion cubic meters of liquefied natural gas to Europe this year. Even if this does happen, it will only account for less than a tenth of the gas imports from Russia, let alone the higher transportation costs and longer distances. Gas prices have already risen fivefold after the Russian-Ukraine conflict commenced. If Russia does close the tap, the results will be disastrous. To avoid such a scenario, Germany has activated an emergency plan for gas rationing, and residents have begun to stock up wood for emergency use. But if the scenario really becomes a reality, Germany could see protests from individuals and companies against gas shortages and higher inflation. And Germany is just one example of how the Russian decree is strangling the lifeline of the European economy. The decree is also seen as a key step by Russia to boost its sagging currency value. The ruble has rebounded to pre-conflict levels after the decree was signed. The logic is like this: if you want our gas, you have to buy ruble to pay for it. So the demand for rubles in the market will be shored up. Assuming that Europe does agree to ruble payments, importers will have to buy the Russian currency from the open market. They have to find banks to exchange euros and dollars for rubles. That could be cumbersome because some Russian banks have been either blocked or cut off from the SWIFT system, and transactions like this have been banned due to the sanctions imposed by these unfriendly countries. So for easier payment, these countries may have to reconsider their sanctions. The decree is a tit-for-tat move by Russia to fight sanctions by these unfriendly countries. And the only way out of this economic fight might be a de-escalation of the conflict. For the sake of its own people and its economy, Europe needs to shed its Cold War mindset and make policies independently. Just like an Italian expert recently said, and I quote, "We still need to look for peace in this changed but still connected world. And that is where hope lies."